Father Rick here, and as you can see, I am in Rome, Italy. Look over my shoulder, it's the Vatican, it's St. Peter's Basilica. And the really cool thing is I was just there yesterday, July 5th, 2013, and I celebrated a Mass at the tomb of Blessed John the 23rd. And the great thing about that day was that very day, as I celebrated that Mass, Pope Francis declared that Blessed John the 23rd would be canonized a saint later this year, also with Blessed John Paul II. What a great day for the Church. It seems that two more miracles have been attributed to these men, to their intercession, have been approved by the Church, and now later in the year, the Church will declare them saints. I am thrilled about that. Pope John Paul II, he was my Pope. I mean, actually in 1997, I moved to Rome and I lived here for a number of years. And just 6 months after my ordination, I got to concelebrate a Mass in the private chapel of John Paul II. And it was one of the greatest days of my life. The Pope asked me to read the Gospel. True story. He blessed me. He shook my hand. He said he loved Franciscans. And it was one of the greatest days of my life. I watched in the years that I lived in Rome, I watched as John Paul II got older and more frail physically and leaned on the cross of Christ. You know, he had a crozier, he had a staff that had a crucifix on it, as you may recall. And as he got older and weaker physically, he would lean on it for support. And I thought to myself, this man has become a living icon. He's showing us what it means to physically and literally lean on Jesus Christ, just as he had done all his life spiritually. John Paul II taught us to have a great love for Mary, the Mother of God, and to let her show us what it means to lean on Jesus and to believe and be his. Now, John the 23rd, I didn't know. He was before my time, but the stories of his life are so great, and one of my favorites is that they asked the Pope one time how he prayed. And he said, well, at nighttime, I pray something like this. I get ready for bed, I look up at God, and I say, Lord, it's been a long day, I'm tired. I've been Pope all day, I've been taking care of your church, but I'm exhausted, and you know what? I'm going to bed. I put the church back in your hands. Good night. I loved when I heard that story, because it's just a story of humility, that here is the man with the most important role in the Roman Catholic Church, and he still has the humility to know that he's not the whole thing, that it is really the Church of Jesus Christ, and it's to Jesus that the Church belongs. So both these men, I think, can teach us. We have something to do in the Church of the Lord, but we also need to approach those tasks and those callings with humility, to know that we do only what God gives us and that we never step in the way of Jesus Christ, but we let the church be his. So if you don't have a devotion to these men, I encourage you to develop one, to say some prayers, to ask the intercession of John the 23rd and John Paul II, who we know are in heaven interceding now for the church. Ask them to help you find what is yours to do, and to do it with humility, in a way that doesn't get in the way of Jesus Christ, but points people back to the heart of Jesus Christ. May God give you his peace.